Hey everyone, welcome back to Some Bites, and today I want to kind of go over the future of me going to eBay and grabbing a vintage boombox. So, recently I did go onto eBay and I purchased a Sony CFD S200 boombox from eBay. And, when it came in the mail, it pretty much had a big problem with the cassette player. And that cassette player, the belt went out. So I've been using the Tech Bluetooth cassette adapter that we showed off in a previous video. Yeah, this was ordered on the 18th of April and came on the 28th. And I've had this boombox for a good while. And when May 28th comes, I would have had the Sony CFD S200 back for a month. And when I put a cassette in there, it didn't work. The CD player worked, the radio worked, but the cassette player didn't work. And then I found the AWA Backtrack 80s Retro Boombox, and it's a modern unit. It's got, Bluetooth, auxiliary, USB, SD card reader, CD, cassette. I mean, it's got pretty much everything that, you would need on a modern boombox, but an 80s retro design. And, with some of the modern boomboxes, if these sound good, if the amplifier and the speakers sound really good, and the cassette player is at a good speed, there's something wrong with getting a modern cassette player because you have nothing to worry about. And I've been sitting here listening to my AWA Backtrack boombox, and it sounds crystal clear. It's got brand new belts, brand new motor, brand new CD player, brand new everything inside of the unit. I mean, this is a brand new boombox. It came in three different boxes, which really help keep it protected. And I do love the vintage style. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before. Like holy moly. It's something I've never seen before. I mean, it's like nothing I've ever experienced. I did have an 80s retro boombox before from a company called Victrola. And it was an 80s retro boombox with a cassette player and AM/FM radio, Bluetooth, USB, SD card reader, an AM/FM radio, but it didn't have the microphone, didn't have the VU meters, or actually it had um, fake lights that danced to the beat of the music, but when you turn down the volume, it still turned on. So I knew that wasn't a real vintage looking product. Unlike AWA, where they really put some thought into engineering this boombox. It's not like the Victrola at all. And if we look at if we take a look at Studebaker and Crosley, their stuff isn't really engineered well at all. Like if I go to Amazon, I go to we're gonna look at Crosley first. Crosley boombox. So this is for any of you who are wanting to get into a more modern boombox. Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to find a good one unless you go with AWA. AWA is a really good product, and I'm really impressed with the style of it. So I don't think Crosley makes boomboxes much anymore. So we'll go to radios. Yeah, they just make portable radios. they don't really make a boombox. They make portable radios, turntables, which sound horrible and perform horrible because I actually had a few of them because they keep breaking on me in the middle. The quality isn't really there. And we go to speakers. Yeah, they just have mini Bluetooth speakers. Yeah, I see some small Bluetooth speakers, maybe some home Bluetooth speakers that are designed like a guitar amplifier. They sell jukeboxes. I don't really see any boomboxes from Crosley. So the next one is Victrola. Victrola. I had their 80s retro boombox years ago, and it just wasn't really up to my standards when it comes to quality. And it just kept breaking little by little until nothing was left. I only had it for what, 2 years? If I go to their, so that's record players and turntables. So they do make record players and turntables, wireless speakers. Let's try radios and jukeboxes. Yeah, they sell little boom boxes, Bluetooth boom boxes that are mono. I guess they got rid of the 80s retro boombox, but I'm not sure if they still sell that. Like brand new off the shelf. So wireless speakers, outdoor speakers. Yeah, I only saw mono uh, boom boxes from Victrola, but if we go to Studebaker, which has boom boxes, I actually own their portable cassette player, and the motor was kind of out of alignment. I mean, the speed was kind of a little off. So there is a little portable AM/FM little boom box there. They make portable CD players. They just make portable radios and you know boom boxes and all that stuff. So Studebaker, I mean, it's a decent brand, but the quality isn't there. Unlike the AWA. So if we go to Studebaker, they don't really have their page anymore. So if I go to Studebaker and I go to their brand, so they do have a retro AM/FM cassette boombox, which is mono. That might sound pretty decent, but I haven't really tested that one out. They even have a little small cassette and CD player, AM/FM radio boombox. A lot of these are like portable AM/FM radios. So of course, they have the Studebaker, 80s like style boombox with CD, cassette, AM/FM, Bluetooth, USB. I think it's just USB. It's called the Sound Station, and they have it in rose gold. They have it in different colors. Yeah, they have it in different colors. So the Sound Station. They also have this boombox, which is just a CD player, and it just plays digital media, including mostly CDs. So it's an 80s style retro boombox with CD. So it's a good thing I didn't go with that because that's just CD. They also make this vintage looking mono cassette player boombox, and they have them in different colors. They even make this boombox right here. I'm not sure how good that one is compared to my AWA. I mean, the AWA has treble and bass, so it'll make the sound sharper and crisper and clear, and better EQ and better, you know the better control over the EQ on the AWA. So I mean, you just got to be very careful when it comes to buying a vintage looking boombox. So that's I mean, the AWA could not compare to any of those units we saw on Amazon here. It's got to look at some modern ones, and some vintage ones may have belt issues, motor issues, capacitor problems, all of this crazy stuff that goes on. It's always best to stay away from the vintage ones because you never know what kind of condition they might be in. But look for a good modern cassette boombox, like when I found the AWA. The AWA is definitely the best one to go for if you want that 80s style, that loud sound, crisp, clearness, sound, and it's just an overall amazing experience with the AWA. And we did show that in the last couple of videos. We did a first look and an unboxing video of the boombox. So just do your research, find the one that works best for you, but stay away from the vintage ones because you never know what kind of condition it might be in. If it says used, pre-owned, but if you buy a brand new one, it'll still have that issue because it's been sitting in the box for years, maybe even decades. If you buy an old vintage that is brand new, never been played, never been used, the belt could have been sitting there just, drying up over the years, and you have to replace the belts and all that stuff when you get in the mail. So don't be like me and buy a random vintage boombox just because it's nostalgic. People my age are starting to see a lot of issues with some of the 2000s boomboxes. Same thing with the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. That goes back to the beginning of boomboxes. Yeah, I would stay with the vintage ones and go with something more modern because it's got the modern features that a lot of people need. But if they do make cassette player boomboxes, CD player boomboxes, Bluetooth boomboxes, they make boomboxes with USB playback. There's a whole bunch. Just do your research and work, see what's best for you. But whatever you do, don't buy a boombox on eBay because you never know what kind of condition it might be in. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys very, very soon. Peace.